Good morning everybody and welcome back to another War Thunder video. Before I get into the contents of this video, just allow me to apologise for my voice. I sound like I'm dying. I feel fine in myself, it's just my throat feels terrible, so forgive me if I cough or anything like that. I will try and stop the recording if I have to, but just a fair heads up. So today I would like to talk about what's going to happen to War Thunder. As we know, patch 1.87 is on the horizon and a lot of more modern vehicles are being added. The Challenger 2, the Abrams M1A1, the Leclerc. I think the Leclerc's being added. The Ariete, sorry, not the Leclerc. Even though it's a pre-series model, but I digress. A load of other new jets, including the T2, the Japanese thing. So that got me thinking, what are Gaijin going to actually do when they've finished adding all of these modern vehicles? Because this is something we have to consider, and I'm sure it's something they've been considering, or should have been considering for a while. I would hope that they would go back and add some more World War II stuff, for those of you who enjoy World War II content more than Cold War and Modern. Because, let's face it, the game has, in essence, always been a World War II game, or at least that's how it started as. And Gaijin need to pander to you guys as well. That's not the right word, is it? But you know what I mean. They need to cater. They need to cater to you guys as well. At the end of the day, we were the first people here because it was the World War II stuff that got us interested in playing the game in the first place. However, far from that, the only other suggestion that I've heard floating around the place, and a couple of other content creators have mentioned this as well, is new game modes. This isn't a new idea, although I'm actually going to expand upon this a little bit, and we'll discuss it. So, let's crack on. The first game mode idea that's been brought up, because it is already a thing, is Enduring Confrontation. I've played Enduring Confrontation a few times, and I absolutely love it. It's amazing. It plays like a realistic battle, or a historical battle, in RB. Of course, the only Enduring Confrontation mode or games that we've ever had, on the live server at least, have always been ARB, as far as I'm aware. I don't think there have ever been any Ground Forces ones. But that's where we get the ball rolling. Ground Forces, Enduring Confrontation. What do we think about that? You could do it in certain historical battles, maybe. You could have certain players playing as the Germans, having maybe 5 Tigers against 10, 15 M4 Shermans, but the problem with this idea is, before I go on a rant and explain how this could be a great idea, I need to balance this out. The problem with this idea is the game itself. While the maps may be adaptable to this form of gameplay and this form of game design as a whole, people play War Thunder because it allows them to choose vehicles that they want to play and play them in a way that they want to. They're not told to go and capture this zone or hold this point or take this section of a valley. They are not told what to do, and that is in essence what people find enjoyable about these online games. It's the same with World of Tanks and World of Warships. They all play the exact same way. They give you a battle zone, the map, a vehicle or vehicles in the case of War Thunder of your choice to play, and then all you have to do is take out all the enemy players or capture all of the zones until the points tick down. That is it. And the reason that this has not been altered from in the past is because this is simple, easy, quick, which is important because it means people don't have time to get bored of it. And this is where the problem with Enduring Confrontation comes in. We think that we want Enduring Confrontation, and despite knowing this, I still want Enduring Confrontation for Ground Forces. I think it would be a really good addition to the game, and it would improve its longevity. However, a point that was raised by Oxy in Slickbee's recent vlog that he put up last night, the night before, what have you, is that people want Enduring Confrontation because they haven't played a lot of it. They haven't had time to get bored of it yet. And when he said that, I almost had like a eureka moment, as if I should have known this before, and then all of a sudden something suddenly clicked. And when you think about it, he does actually have a point. Enduring Confrontation matches can last for a very long time. One match I actually played and uploaded a video in, I think, in my BF109E4, lasted for like 40 minutes. I mean, the video was trimmed down a lot. The video was only 15 minutes long, but the actual game, because it was on the Normandy map, you know, the British Channel, the massive map where it takes you 15 minutes to fly from one half of the map to the other. You know, which you have to do a lot because you have to refuel and rearm, etc. But I digress. That match lasted 45 minutes, and that was just one match. I cannot see people playing Endurance Confrontation day in, day out without playing realistic battles again, because you will get bored of it. And there will be times when you don't actually have time, you know, those of us who work for a living don't actually have time to come home, and regardless of doing chores, hoovering, sweeping the house out, dusting, you know, cooking, doing laundry, people who don't have the time to just sit and play 45-minute matches will inevitably just play realistic or arcade, like we always have done, because it's only 10-15 minute matches. If that. If your team's really bad, or the enemy team is really bad, the matches can take 5 minutes, because the other team just steamrolls the other. And that's the way it should be, in my personal opinion. I'd like to point out that at this stage, as always with my debating topics videos, you are more than welcome to give me your ideas in the comments down below, in the comments section on Reddit, or wherever else this video may end up. I really want to hear what you guys have to say about all this, because this is something that, as I said at the beginning, Gaijins should be thinking about already, and if they're not, they need to start thinking about it now. We're not that very many vehicles away from having modern tanks in War Thunder, and I think it's pretty clear at this point that the only reason Gaijin went down that path at all, despite the fact that the April Fool's event went really well a couple of years ago, Armoured Warfare went down the pan. And ever since then there have been an awful lot of players teething for something to sink their gums into that will nourish their Modern Warfare itch. And Gaijin are determined, or at least appear to be determined, to scratch that itch for them. So yeah, I don't really know what Gaijin could do. Game modes are a fantastic idea. Going back to World War II vehicles and adding more of those is a fantastic idea. A lot of people are going to say that they could fix a lot of the problems with the game. Some people may argue that there are still balancing issues with the game after all these years. I do not really want to discuss that here, because that is one massive can of worms, and quite frankly I haven't actually thought about that, you know, before starting to record this video. I mean, I have thought about it, but I haven't got the time to think in detail about how I would answer the different questions and the different problems. So if you guys want to talk about that, feel free to do it in the comments or on the comments on Reddit or what have you, but I'm not going to discuss it here for the reason I've just stated. So yeah, what else could they possibly do? They could go more in depth with little details and stuff like that, like on the reload of the T-72 and the T-62s when the casing gets thrown out the back of the turret. Little details like that, you know. The BMP-2, where the brass from the automatic cannon comes out the front of the turret and all that stuff. It looks awesome. It's not something that needs to be in the game. It's not something that is a requirement for my enjoyment, but it does make me enjoy the game more. I mean, the game doesn't look bad for me, even on PS4. It looks really good. But those little tweaks, those little additional extras, just add a little something to the gameplay. They make it feel like you are more in control of the vehicle than you would be otherwise. But those are not going to extend the life of War Thunder, sadly, because they're just not important enough, they're not impressive enough, they're not in-depth enough. Which brings us back to the game modes. I actually do think that new game modes are required, and they don't need to fiddle around with the gameplay too much or the maps too much to do this. Enduring Confrontation Ground Forces, let me just pitch this idea, right? We're not going to limit you to vehicles that you have to play, in the sense of you have to play an M4 Sherman or you have to play a Tiger H. Let's just say that they give you a battle rating spread of, for example, 1.0 from 8.0 to 9.0, okay? You can pick any lineup within that for your designated country. You have NATO versus the Warsaw Pact. If you have German vehicles in your lineup, jets at the moment, for example, like the MiG-19S or the MiG-15 BIS, which are East German, they're DDR Air Force jets. You play on the side of the Warsaw Pact, even though Germany, in terms of the normal RB matchmaker, is a Western NATO ally, which West Germany was. But you, in essence, you'd be dividing Germany. You can only do this if the player only has East German vehicles on their team, on their lineup. If they have West German vehicles, no East German, they obviously go to West German. If they have West German with an East German jet, that's kind of where it gets complicated. But you can see what I'm getting at here. Anyway, you use a simulator map because there are loads of them in the game already. That would not require you to make any new maps. You may have to fiddle around with the capture points a little bit just to make it a bit more dynamic rather than just having them all in a straight line. But that would be easy enough to do, I assume. I mean, I'm not a coder, I'm not a genius, but I can't see there being any problems with that personally. You then say set a time limit for the match for 25-30 minutes, so it's not overly long. You could theoretically play a couple of matches of that a day, and you fiddle around with the XP and the rewards so that you, I mean, I think in during confrontation you make like 2 or 3 times the amount of RP in one match than you would make in half a dozen matches of RB anyway, so you might not even have to tweak around with that stuff. Again, yeah, excuse the cat, she's ripping up the sofa. Yeah, you know, you can see where I'm going with this, you can see my train of thought, and honestly, that is all these debating topic videos on my channel really are ideas to get the ball rolling. Admittedly, they're not always all of my ideas, and I'm always upfront and honest about that. Why would I claim ideas that aren't my own? I don't benefit from that in any way. It's not as if I'm making money off these YouTube videos, I don't have the subscriber count to do it. Anyway, let me know what you think about all of this stuff. Give me your own ideas and suggestions in the comment section down below. What do you think Gaijin are going to do after they've added all of the modern vehicles they can? I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe for more. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It really does help out the channel. And I will see you guys in the next War Thunder video. Cheers.